Okay, so in this video, I'm reviewing the all-new Apple Watch Series 8. Let's go ahead and jump in. First things first, if you are in the market for an Apple Watch and you are considering the Series 8, but you're not ready to drop a lot of money, go for the Series 7. It's the same watch. And let's say the Series 7 is too expensive. Go for the Series 6. That is still the same watch. We get the old, same, very familiar design that we saw with the previous generations. So you don't see a very drastic change when you compare this guy to the previous generation to the generation before that. If you really just are looking for value, I'm here to assure you that whatever flagship device, whether it's a watch, whether it's an iPhone or a tablet or whatever the case may be, past flagship are still very relevant today. So if you are in the market for Apple Watch, don't feel the pressure to go specifically for these. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and do the review. Like I said, this guy is just like the Series 7. Feels good, it fits well, the sensors are very accurate, it tracks very well. This is a very nice watch to wear. I personally enjoy wearing Apple Watches. My only problem with them is just the battery. And that also goes for Samsung, but it's just that with Samsung watches, with Galaxy watches, the batteries seem to offer a bit more, a tiny bit more than what you will get. Now let's go ahead and quickly fly over the physical features of this watch here. My unit here is a 45mm. You can go for a 41mm, and depending on the model that you go for, so if you were to go for like the Apple Watch SE, that is only available in 40 and 44mm. Now that's not a drastic move from this in terms of just size, right? It's pretty close to this. We're talking 1mm in terms of difference. But anyway, it's also available in cellular if you want to go ahead and grab the cellular model so that you can go ahead and use its own data plan. You can always do that, or you could just grab a GPS model. Personally, I always go for this because I always have my phone with me. But even if I don't have my phone, I go jogging, it's always going to connect to GPS and you should be fine. Plus, it does have, track back, the new track back feature here. So even if you get lost, you can always kind of recall your steps and be able to go back to where you started from. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and start off with the back here. That's where you will find the sensors, right? So we're talking, EKGs, heart rate sensors, sleep tracking, all of that good stuff. You would find that on the back there. On the left hand side, you have the speaker, and then on the right hand side, you would have the mic in the middle there. Then you have the button. This main button at the bottom here be used to recall maybe some of the apps that you've been using a lot, or your favorite apps and things like that. Right above that, you have that digital crown. That's the crown that you would use to, kind of scroll through stuff, through apps and through the features and options and settings and all of that good stuff. It kind of has more of a multi-purpose setup on this watch here. So you'll be able to use that to navigate. And that's pretty much it in terms of just the physical attributes. This is the standard band that comes with all or most Apple watches, right? So when you buy that, you can choose one of these, and they have them in a vast variety of colors for you to choose from. You can always go for even third-party bands and you should still be fine. That's what I typically do. I would just buy with the regular band and then buy the third-party band for this. And that is pretty much it. Now, in terms of the platform, what you have here is the Apple S8. That's the chipset that you have loaded on the Apple Watch Series 8 here, and that's the same one that's found on the SE also, which is the cheaper model. You could get that one for $250, almost half the price, or a little bit more than half the price what you pay for this. And that's also the same platform you would find on the Watch Ultra, which I've reviewed here already. So you have the Apple S8, and on top of that, you do have Apple watchOS 9 sitting on top of that. So navigation is pretty intuitive there. Of course, user experience would be the same that you've had with the previous generations, right? So whether we're talking the Series 7 or the Series 6 or even the 5, right? Because the user experience generally remains the same, and it will function about the same way, react about the same way, except it's on a larger display. You also do have 32 gigs of internal storage here and 1 gig of RAM. An additional feature that's worth mentioning here is that you can actually go as far as 50 meters underwater with this guy. So it is IP6S certified. So even if you were just walking in the street or walking around and then it started raining, that's not something you should be worried about. You should be fine because it is water resistant. The display here, of course, is very well built. Very dense PPI here. Things are pretty sharp on here. We're looking at a resolution of 484 by 396 here. So again, PPI is pretty dense here. So even some of the screenshots that you get, let's say if someone is ringing your doorbell and the picture comes here, or even someone is sending you a picture and you're looking at kind of like the preview, things look very sharp here. Not that it was ever a problem with the previous ones, but just to say that the display here is very neat. It's an OLED display and it can go up to 1000 nits, right? So even if you're outside under direct sunlight, you should still be able to see the watch, to see the screen and be able to see things there, read your data, all that good stuff without any issues whatsoever. Now, in terms of just tracking features, top notch, right? And I don't think we expected anything less, right? That's why I say that you might as well just go for the 7, right? The Series 7 was offering you pretty much the same stuff that you have here. Sure, there's some new stuff added, right? Like the temperature sensor specifically for women, right? So if you are a woman and you wanted to buy this specific for that, obviously that would be, you know, a good idea to go for it. Or if you want to save some money, then you can always go ahead and buy the previous version or the previous model and just download the application that would do kind of the same job, but you have to do a little bit of manual, you know, there'll be a little bit of manual interaction in order to get that done. But just something to put out there that you do have the choice. You can always go for something cheaper and have to do some stuff manually, or you could get this thing and it would, you know, do that automatically for you if that's something that you are interested in. Now, in terms of battery, it is still a 1-day battery type of watch, right? So it's a turn off for some people, but others just don't care, right? Because most people just think, well, you know what, when I get home, I'll just go ahead and toss this on a charger and that should be fine. Now, if you're looking for something that lasts longer than this, then maybe you should consider a different watch. Maybe consider the Ultra. Now, that one is a lot more expensive, but you definitely be offered double the battery life that you would get from the regular one. So that's something to think about. And of course, that one costs a lot more money, but there are plenty of choices, you know, tons of choices out there for you to choose from, even if you want to go out the realm of, you know, just Apple, of just these phone manufacturers. If you want to go with like a Garmin watch, those things can last a very long time. But anyway, in my usage, I've been able to see a little bit over a day with this, and this is me putting the watch on, working out moderately, and then using it just normal usage during the day, you know, checking things, checking the time, you know, checking little messages and things like that, and it would last until the next morning when I have to toss it back on the charger. Now, the good thing is that, you know, because I work from home, I can just be at my computer and have the watch charging while it's going there, so that I don't miss out on maybe if I want to go for a walk and my watch is on the charger and I can't take it with me because there's no battery, and then I miss out on tracking some of the additional steps that I may be, you know, piling up during the day. But anyway, so these are some of the things that you need to think about. You could be the type of person that just buys this and then you use it throughout the day and then you toss it on the charger at night, or you find a good spot in the evening when, you know, you tell yourself, well, I have about an hour to 2 to go ahead and toss this thing on the charger so that I can use it throughout the night. You can always do that. So in terms of the review of the watch itself, I don't really have a lot to say because there's not a lot of new things here. Some of the stuff that I cover on the Watch Ultra, I did say that they were available on the Series 8, right? So what are we talking? You know, the track back, you know, new feature, the body temperature, the crash detection, because when you have this, one of the newest features that Apple is pushing out there is crash detection, right? So if you're wearing this and you're in a car accident, that it should be able to detect that you got into a car accident, and then it would call for emergency services to come and assist you. That's a fantastic feature. They're able to determine whether you were in a car accident by using a variety of, you know, data points. So that's definitely a very good thing to know, that it doesn't necessarily have to be a car accident. They still have that same feature where if you were to, you know, fall, you know, for people maybe who are, you know, are seniors, if they were wearing a watch, an Apple Watch, and they were to fall, it would be able to detect that and call for those emergency services to come and assist you. So these are some of the things, some of the key things that you should consider when buying, you know, when in the market for this particular watch or the Series 7, because again, a lot of these things are available on the Series 7. And that's going to do it for my initial review of the all new Apple Watch Series 8 here. If you have any additional questions, of course, feel free to put those in the comment section. I will catch you in that comment section like I always do. Make sure, of course, to like, subscribe, share this video if you know anyone who will be interested. Like I said, I'm going to catch you in that comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. Up until the next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.